But we have a wise one joining us today in Naomi. She's like, why? But Naomi is our district governor. She started her term on July 1st, and we are very happy to have her here. So Ted, if I could turn it over to you. If I could ask you to, we have another guest, Tom.
Ooh, what?
Tom User. Could you introduce yourself, Tom?
Oh.
Or Ron or Naomi.
Oh.
Or Ron or Naomi.
Yes, Tom User. I'm a member of the Menifee Rotary Club in District 5330 in Southern California. And I now have moved into the role as the Endowment Major Gift Advisor for Zone 26.
Okay.
And I had contacted Ron and said I'd like to attend a meeting sometime and hear the district governor. And so Ron said, come and join me. And so I'm glad to be with you guys today.
Welcome.
Well, welcome. That doesn't look like Southern California behind you, though.
No.
No, that's Prague.
There you go. Very nice. That's one of my vacation destination goals. So someday I'll get there. Someday. Okay. So Ted, well, first of all, I'm going to tell you all that I'm going to mute everyone. And then
we welcome our guests, Rick.
Sorry. I'm ready. Can we welcome our guests with a great big Rotary Club of Poipu Beach? Hello. There we go. Thank you, Ted. Now, would you like to introduce Naomi?
Yeah, so it's our pleasure to welcome again to our meeting this morning our District Governor, Naomi Masuno. And I know all of you have met her at least briefly in the past, but we get to spend some quality time with her today as she starts off her year as our district governor. And you may know Naomi is a member of the Rotary Club of West Honolulu, and she's been a Rotarian since 2002 and has served as East Honolulu Club President in 2006 through 2007, and District Awards Chair, District Secretary, District Treasurer, District Chief of Staff, and she's also served in numerous district committees. And I will say personally, as I've done a lot more with her over the last 6 to 9 months, she's very personally invested in enabling and empowering clubs with information and knowledge and hand-holding so that clubs can really move forward and accomplish what they want to. She's recently retired from the Bank of Hawaii, where she was Vice President, Channel Sales Manager in the Retail Lending Division, as well as she's participated as a guest speaker at numerous workshops with the U.S. Small Business Administration, SCORE, and others. She's been the Vice Chair of the YWCA Patsy Mink Center of Business and Leadership, President of the Waikiki Health Center Board of Directors, and U.S. Secretary of Commerce appointee to the Hawaii Pacific Export Council. She's a graduate of the University of Hawaii with a major in accounting. So make sure we get our district grant reports in accurately. And she and her husband of 33 years, Dean, have 2 sons. So let's welcome Naomi this morning.
Thank you. And may I share my screen, Rick?
You may. Do you have the ability?
You need to enable. It's disabled.
Allow participants to share screen. You should be able to now. Sorry.
Okay. I have a PowerPoint because I wanted to bring you some information about Rotary. You know, and the district is not about me. It's not about my story. It's about you guys and what you're doing on the front line. And so I really wanted to bring you some information about what Rotary is doing. So, you know, it's really good to see all of you. Jen, thank you for joining us too. Good to see you. And I wanted to, okay, first I'm going to take off the panel. Okay. You know, COVID has really turned our world upside down. We didn't see 20,000 Rotarians come to the convention. We didn't have our district conference. We didn't have our assemblies. You know, we didn't do a lot of things because of COVID. And look at how we're adapting now. So, you know, it really opened up many opportunities to take action district-wide and across the ocean. So we found a lot of ways to show that we believe in service above self. It's allowed us to show our true colors in these hard times. And so you got to be proud that all of the things that you did with delivering food and care packages has made a lot of difference for a lot of people in your community. So these acts of kindness really helped a lot of people. But, you know, this gave us an opportunity to really adapt, and these Zoom meetings are really interesting. I guess the E-Club, and Jan, you're a member of the E-Club on Kauai with the Oahu E-Club. It really gave us a way to connect. See, so let's go to the Rotary International side. They had to act really quickly to release money from the disaster fund. So a couple of weeks ago it was 20 million. It might be up more than 20 million right now, but these were used, this money was used for COVID-related projects all around the world. And so they got ventilators in Italy and masks and thermometers and all kinds of things all across the world with our grants to help people in the neighborhoods of the districts that put in these grants. So our district did put in a grant, a 25,000 application for a grant, and for a long time we didn't know if it was going to be approved or not. They had a telethon to raise money, but we finally got a word that our grant was approved. We still haven't gotten the money yet, but when it comes in for your island, Hanalei Club is going to get 5,000 for Kupuna box program. Each island will be getting some money, so that 25,000 is going to do more good in our state. Okay, so Rotary International really needed to act quickly, and that's why they released this money, and they had to do things differently because of COVID. Some of the projects that we did in our district, we released $10,000 for face shields on Oahu, food distribution on Kauai. Every island got some money, but we also gave each club $400 for community projects, and that totaled 20,000. And so you're wondering where this 30,000 came from. Well, it came from your dues that we didn't use for sending people to convention and conference and other things, and so we were able to deploy it back to you to do some good in your neighborhood. Okay, so our Rotary International president is Holger Kanak, and he is from Germany. He's a very personable, likable guy. You know, when we had pets, he came to our hospitality suite and he danced the hula with us. And you know, it just shows that he's a really down-to-earth, wants to connect with us. And so pets, you know, Rick and Ted can tell you all about pets. It's a really cool place to meet presidents from other districts in our area and get some really good information, hear really good speakers. And so I wanted to put a plug in for being president. It's a lot of fun to go to pets. So the new Rotary International president, his theme is Rotary Opens Opportunities, and he really embraces the change about Rotary expanding and thriving. He wants us to increase members, but he doesn't want us to just get numbers in. He wants us to look at a sustainable way of growing, to get members engaged, keep them engaged, and adding them new members who really fit the club. So Rotary really needed to look at the way they operated, and so they had to do virtual meetings. They have directors and districts all around the world, and normally the directors come in to the United States, but no traveling. So the Rotary staff was not traveling. Youth exchange, as Tom knows, was suspended. So they had to do a lot of things to adapt to the situation. So Holger is saying that the club is not a place for people to join, is rather an invitation for endless opportunities. And so we believe that service, big and small, creates opportunities for people who need our help. So Holger's key messages are these 4 things. Be active in creating innovative club models, expand your reach, maybe do a satellite club if that's applicable to your club. Do a strategic planning meeting for your club. What do you want to look like in 5 years? Select members carefully. And he also asked that we don't take our eye off of polio. And so we are in the district looking for World Polio Day. Hopefully we can meet in October, on October 24th. But he reminds us that we have to fulfill the promise that we made for children in the world. So for polio, we had to suspend, Rotary needed to suspend its polio eradication process because of COVID. But because we had all of the assets and the infrastructure to fight COVID, that's what we did. And Rotary was commended for being ready to take action to fight COVID. But this means that there might be an uptick in polio cases because we're suspending the process for eradication. But we've got to see on what happens on that. So in the news recently, the World Health Organization certified that Nigeria was polio-free. So this is a really major milestone in our decades-long fight to eradicate polio from the earth. And the entire African continent is going to be declared, well, hopefully, will be declared polio-free this year. But you've got to be 3 years of no cases. So this is really a milestone for the eradication program. So this means that we only have 2 more countries to go, Afghanistan and Pakistan. So we need to keep at it. Okay, so did you know that every year in normal situations, we are in 50 countries vaccinating 400 million children every year? Okay, so you think about Hawaii, and we don't have polio here, so you think, oh, it's out of your sight, it's out of mind, but it's because we vaccinate our kids, and that's why we don't have it. But there are people who don't believe in vaccinations in the United States, and so what happens if we stop fighting polio and we have people who are not vaccinated? It's easy for polio to come back, and so in 10 years you might see 200 cases, new cases every year if we don't stop this this disease. So please keep donating to the Polio Plus program, or else we're going to see polio come back. Okay, so let's go to the zone level. We're in zone 26, and our leader is Jarita Solari. Jarita's from the Rotary Club of Anaheim, and she has ties to Hawaii. She's a property manager company. She's the president of property manager, and you may see her in Hawaii once in a while because she does have some property on Maui. So our zone 26 combined with zone 27, and Tom knows all about this because he's from the zone. The zone really is there to help the districts, support the districts with training. So the zone 26-27 is in 14 states, 30 districts, 1,700 clubs, and they are there to train the president-elects, the president nominees, and our district leaders. So every year they have a zone institute, and Ted's been there. They've got some really great sessions on social media or foundation, and this is like spring assembly on steroids. You really get to know a lot about Rotary. You meet the leaders from all of the districts in the zone. We were going to have it in San Diego, but it recently got turned into a virtual institute. And so if you are interested in attending, we'll get that information out to you as soon as we know about it. And there usually is a registration fee to attend the Zone Institute. And the last couple of years, they've opened it out to anybody. So stay tuned for information on the Zone Institute. But thank you, Tom, for all of your support from the Zone, and Ron too. because we really appreciate the support for the district committees and leaders. Okay, so let's move on to the district. This is our leadership. Sonia Mendez is our chief of staff, and Ted, of course, is your assistant governor. And we have a secretary, treasurer, and foundation and membership, and all these different chairs, but they also have committees, and it's because we want to make sure that we have a really strong foundation, a resource team to help the clubs, the presidents, the foundation, the board members in your club, so that you have a strong club and you get the resources that you need from our district. So the district governor-elect is Sandy Matsui. District governor nominee is Randy Hart. Okay, so last year we had $419,000 for our grants. This is including the club match and the World Fund in the matching. So, you know, Holger says everything we do opens an opportunity for some person, someone, somewhere. And he really emphasizes that we create pathways for members to improve their lives. And we do this through our service projects. And we believe that these service projects really help people. And you know that the money that you get from your grants really goes to projects that you selected for your community. So you're wondering how come last year we had 419 and this year we have 306? Why it's so much lower? Well, there are a couple of reasons. One is that this money that you're getting for your grants, this is money that your club members donated 3 years ago. It comes back to your club. So donations are down, so we get less. But also because the World Fund used a lot of the money for COVID projects, the World Fund is not matching the club match for global grants, and they're not putting in that 50% more. So we get less for global grants. So that's the reason why we're getting less this year, 306,000 for this year. Hey, but did you know that every year we get money also from the earnings on the endowment fund? So every year about 15,000 from the endowment fund that we add to this pot of money that we use for projects. So don't forget to donate to the endowment fund if you want to, or to let people know that they're able to put money or put the Rotary Foundation into their estate planning so that, you know, we can continue funds for your projects and for our global grants. So don't forget, when you give your money to the foundation, check the annual share button, that box, because that's the money that comes back to your club for the projects that you select. Okay, you know, a couple of years ago, one of the clubs had a windfall. Someone passed and left 200,000, and their club got the credit for that donation, and they got a lot more to spend for their clubs. So, you know, these donations to the endowment fund really help with your projects as well. Okay, so some of the opportunities that we have in our state, you know, if you do combined club and combined projects, you can do a bigger, impactful project. So one of the things that we want to do this year is do a tree planting project all across the state. So every island, there's a tree planting project. So hopefully we can do 10,000 trees that day. I'm not sure. On Oahu, we plan to do one on some property with this group called Hawaiian Legacy Hardwoods. And did they talk to your club? Not yet. If you're looking for a speaker, they have a really good program of planting trees. But that's one on the Rotary Gives Thanks Day on November 28th. I believe for your island, you're doing it in October with John Harder organizing that tree planting project. We have World Polio Day always on October 24th, and this year is on a Saturday. So hopefully we can do some really fun events for polio awareness. March 2nd, Dr. Seuss Day, his birthday. So we want to do some reading in the schools, elementary schools. And then April 24th, we always have our Rotarians at Work Day. So look for a project that you can do in your community or combined on your island. So some of the other things that we're doing, The first Friday series now is a mental health wellness in a fun, creative, and healthy way. So August 7th is the next one, and we're going to have energy drink recipes and energy aromatherapy ideas. A lot of fun things to do to keep your mind active. We have on the district website a Rotarians Doing Business directory. So about 150 of our companies that are owned by Rotarians or employing Rotarians. So check the website if you're looking for a business to do business with. Then we're reaching out to interactors, Rotaractors. Hopefully we can do a leadership in action program to develop leaders in our areas. Okay, so here's the flyer or the picture for planting trees. You know, we're going to help the climate and the environment if we can plant trees. So if everybody can plant 2 trees in their yards, that'll help this effort. We're stepping up the stakes in training. So you'll see a lot more webinars coming up. So for fall seminars, normally we meet face-to-face, but we are going the webinar route. So those will be on Saturdays, and we have Rotary 101, we have a Foundation 101 Basics, Foundation 201. Ted is doing Social Media 101, 201. So keep an eye out for those webinars coming up. So we really want to build a stronger foundation for the district to support the clubs. And so our district committees are larger for membership, foundation, our district conference, and it's because we need to build this group to help the clubs. And so if you are interested in helping on any of their district committees, any position on the district side, please let me know, because we need help and we need your expertise. Ted is our social media chair on the district side because he's the guru on social media. Benson Medina is the district trainer, so he's doing an awesome job with the training. He's going to be working with your club trainer to do training for your club. So just let us know what training you need, so we can get that information to you. So if anybody wants to apply for district governor, we're taking applications in August, and this is for 2023 to 24 for district governor. And the interview will be in November. Okay, so we really want to see what you guys are interested in. What value does the club bring to you? So one of the things was forming this environment group. And so John Harder is having a meeting on the 29th for anybody who's interested in joining this group on the environment. So the foundation trustees and the board, Rotary International Board, they unanimously approved adding the 7th area of focus for the environment. And they know that this is important because they've already had $18 million in global grants for environment-related projects over the last 5 years. So really important area for Rotary worldwide, but also in our district. So if you want to join this group, join in on the 29th for this informational session. But we want to really see what you're interested in, forming other areas of focus groups in the district, just to make sure we're paying attention to what you're interested in. And so I wanted to show you this really busy screen. It's the Rotary Fellowships. Did you know that we had all of these fellowships? So people around the world joined these fellowships, and Rick and Ted, you must be members of many of these already. But there's this guy who's a member of the Hawaii Kai Club, and he's a member of the hosting, I believe it is, and they meet up every once in a while in a foreign country to do a project. And he recently did a project in Nepal, and he said it's very rewarding to do the hands-on project, but to meet people from all around the world is an interesting way to stay connected. So our friendship exchange is going virtual this year. So Marietta Bustamante is organizing several. So the first one coming up is with Argentina. So it'll be in a couple of months where if you're interested in this friendship exchange, to exchange culture, customs, food, projects, it's a really great way to bridge the gap in understanding the differences in our world and bring goodwill to people participating. She's thinking of doing one for the Japan and one in the Philippines. But hey, Rick, if you have connections in other countries, Tom, with your exchange students that are alumni, let us know that you'd like to set up a friendship exchange. But some of the other things that are available are the action groups as well. So I encourage you to go to riconvention.org, look for the House of Friendship, and there's a schematic, there's a map of the House of Friendship booths, and you click on a booth to go to websites for action groups, for projects, for all of these fellowships to learn more about them. But also check out the breakout sessions because there are about 40 breakout sessions on different topics. You can either register to attend live or get the recording for these. So free, but you got to register. But check out all of these fellowships. I mean, they're on sports or special interests like rare books and railroads, and just really interesting to have this connection with people who like the same thing you do. So the Fellowship of Gin that Ted started up for your island, is something that he really liked, and so we wanted to really connect with people. Okay, so let's see. This is our Rotary International vision statement, and the Rotary brand is a guide. It's a lens to the way that you think or act, the way you communicate, internal within the clubs, within yourself, but external with your community and globally. So, we look at our Rotary position, including diversity, inclusion, and equality, and we need to do our part to listen and learn and take action. But this is what we do. We look at what is important. We see a need, we find a solution, and we take action. And so we can do more in the world by working together. So this is exactly what Rotary is about. We're people of action, and you guys are awesome at looking at what's important to your island and being so involved with the organizations that you are and giving back to your community. So you can be proud that we united together to take action, and we're doing a lasting change in our community. So thank you for all you do. Thank you for your hard work. And I look forward to working with you because, again, it's not about me. It's what the district can do for you. You guys are on the front line. You are actually doing the hands-on work that Rotary needs to do with service above self. So we really are here to support you. Okay, so I'll stop sharing and I'll take any questions that you might have.
Thanks, Naomi. And yeah, if anyone has questions, just feel free to unmute yourself and shout out your question. Well, I'll throw something in. Naomi mentioned at the very end there about the clubs being kind of the backbone of Rotary. And one of the interesting things that we've been talking about in some of the training sessions that she mentioned was, if you look at a typical company, you've got a CEO and a board of directors, and they kind of determine where the company goes. Rotary has a board of directors. We just had Peter from the board speak to our club last week. And there's the president of Rotary International, which is Holger and stuff. But the very big difference is well, I was just going to say bottom fed, but that sounded really bad. It feeds from the bottom up because the clubs decide what we want to do. And based on that sort of steers Rotary. So it's a very different way of organizing things. And that's where we get that opportunity to come along and say, this is what's important to us, and this is what we're going to work on. So we have lots of opportunities there to really drive the future of Rotary through this. The other thing in that vision statement, the part that I find probably most powerful is to create change in our communities and in ourselves. And that's the other part of this. I know everyone has different reasons for joining Rotary, but the thing that people often talk about, that what keeps them as a Rotarian, is the idea of the fellowship. And I think a large part of that fellowship is not just, hanging out and chatting and doing all that, but it's doing the projects that we do. And that's where we really get to see a lot of the value of Rotary. And that's where the rest of the world gets to see a lot of the value of Rotary. And that's what's most important for our future as we move forward. Questions from anyone? Jan.
Hi, thank you, Naomi, for such a great presentation. So my question is about the Grammy project. If you could talk about that, where we're helping the seniors, the Kapunas.
It was supposed to start last month, and I know you signed up to call. So the hang up is on working out the grocery distribution. So we've asked them if we can start on the calling program. We haven't heard back yet from them. So Tom is trying to get a hold of them to see if we can get that started. But for the rest of you on Grammy, this is this program where people can order groceries and get it delivered or pick up curbside at the stores. That's one. There's a call center where people can call in for information, order their groceries. And there's a calling out program where people can volunteer to call seniors or people who are disabled and at home to just check up on them. How are you doing? Just talk story, because we wanted to get that human touch to people who are isolated. So thank you, Jan, for volunteering. We'll get back to you shortly. Hopefully we can get that program started up again. And this is something that we wanted to partner with Grammy all across the state. And we have a lot of volunteers just waiting for it to get started. So thank you very much for asking about that. And I'll get back to you, Jan, about that. Hey, so Ted, I wanted to say, for my philosophy on you said that where it's bottoms up. I look at it as it's the pyramid, and you as president and your club is at the top of the pyramid, and everybody around on the bottom is supporting the club. So that's the district, the zone, and the Rotary Foundation. And so that's that building that foundation to support you. So that's my philosophy.
Yeah, I will also point out, sometime last Rotary year, we did a training session on the website that our club has, and also rotary.org. There is a district website. There is a zone website as well. And you can go out and you can find a lot of resources on that. Naomi mentioned some of the trainings that are out there. Those are all listed on the district website as well. And even though it says, this is for the club trainer, this is for the club president, whatever, if you want to join those, you are certainly welcome to join those. And a lot of those are being recorded. So you can always go back and review them again if you want to as well. But yeah, the idea of additional service projects is something that is I think going to be even more important in this year. We I think historically our club, amongst the various things that we did the scholarships and everything, but we also had all the grants that we gave out. And because we didn't get to do our big fundraiser last year, we don't have that opportunity this year. So the way that we can make a difference in our community and in ourselves is by going out and doing service projects. And I think that's in many ways much more impactful. We can even look to partner with some of the groups that we used to do grants for. We could do something, one that comes to mind is Kuga, the dance group. We could sponsor a dance not exhibition. What's the word I want? I don't even know.
Performance. Performance.
Thank you. A dance exhibition, a dance performance, at Point Blue Beach Park or something along those lines. We could look at various different ways that we could engage with them and work with them. Speaking of that, though, there is one other thing that we do still have kind of carryover from last year, and that is the silent auction. Ron, is there any update on the auction moving online?
Kristen is working on the photos and finishing those out. Claude was going back out to the various businesses that gave us certificates to, number one, see if they are still in business. We know that there's at least one that has gone out of business, and that's Kalaheo Steak and Ribs. But Claude is checking to see who else is still in business. Will they be able to honor the certificate if they are in business? But just, I think, getting more of a sense of their business health and their economic health to kind of move us forward.
Just so that you know, Merriman's and Ruth's Chris is out of business.
Right. Right.
Okay.
And also, I think Street Burgers will be as well. I don't know if we had anything for Street Burgers, but I'm betting we have Merriman's, and I don't know about Ruth's Chris, but both of them will not be coming back.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
But I think that's an important thing to consider here is it's even possible that we will have the auction, we will have someone purchase a certificate, and then that organization, that company might go out of business. So we might have some rebates that we need to make. And if we do, we do. That's what, we'll deal with it and we will make it all work.
And Rick, as soon as I get something from Claude, I'll get that out to the group. And I think we will have some level of a silent auction. It's just going to be a little bit of a different animal than from the point where we started.
Okay, awesome. Thanks for working on that, because that's we have the items, so we may as well do something with them. It's worthwhile. The other thing that I do think it would be really great if we could resurrect is our Vacation for Donation fundraiser. We chose not to do that last year, but I think this year, twofold. One, I think the lodging establishments here are going to be a little more open to the idea potentially of doing some donation, because as we have done in the past, they donate 3 nights and we pay for the other 4 nights. So we're still giving them a good chunk of change. And in some cases, we know people have come along and said, well, I'm going to pay for an upgrade to my room as well. So they get some monies there. And then the other part, I think, from the folks who would look to make donations. I mean, we've all been watching the news. Everyone knows that there is pent-up demand to come to Hawaii on vacation. So this would be a great way to get people to have the chance to win that and get that as just a nice option. So if anyone is looking to either solicit the items or work on the tickets and the processing and everything, please jump in, let me know, and we can get that going again. Historically, we've ended up clearing out of that after we pay for the cost of the vacation and everything. We usually end up with around $15,000 out of that. So it would be great if we could bring that back as well. Yep. So we've got the project. There he is. I was looking for you, Rodney. We've got the project at Kukui'olono, hopefully that we'll be doing sometime next month, and we'll get on a good cadence with them. But if there is another project that we're looking to deal with, that would be a very nice option. Tom had mentioned having the president of Toastmasters here come and speak to our club. And as you know, Rotary and Toastmasters have formed a partnership. And I actually, way back when, started a Toastmasters club at a company that I worked at. And I think that it is a great organization. One of the interesting things, if you look at what it is that people are most afraid of, the number one fear of most people is public speaking. The number 2 fear of most people, death. I mean, it just doesn't even make sense. And the standard joke there is they would rather be in the coffin than giving the eulogy. And, I mean, come on, that doesn't even make sense. Public speaking is a skill that I think, as we're moving towards this more virtual world that we're in, becomes much more important. And I know myself, when I'm interviewing people to join my company, one of the things that I'm looking at is their presentation skills. And it's interesting because if I think back to when I was starting this Toastmasters group at the company I worked at, I was out there advocating to get people to join, and they're like, oh, I don't do presentations. And the company was basically processing medical claims. And we had a whole crew of people who were customer service reps. And I said, what does your job look like on a daily basis? And they said, well, I come in, basically, I sit down, I put my headset on, and I'm on the phone all day long. And I said, what are you doing there? Talking to people. What are you really doing there? You're presenting to people. That's what you're doing. You are always in presentation mode when you're doing something like that. So if you can polish that up and you can be a better presenter, it's a very good thing. So looking at Toastmasters as a way of improving some of those presentation skills is a great thing. I know Dottie, as a ex-principal, you probably saw some good presenters and some bad presenters. and it's funny because you can really pick up on that. People that are good, solid presenters engage the audience in ways that others can't. And it is something that you can learn. There are certain parts of that that are definitely acquirable skills that you can pick up on. So I think that would be a great opportunity for us. Anything else? Anyone have any announcements? Anything you want to ask or talk about? Yes, Craig.
I got a question for Naomi.
All right.
I heard some whispers that Honolulu's back in the discussion for international conference. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
You have to come to the meeting on August 1st. No, but by the way, we are having a general meeting on August 1st at 10 o'clock. But yes, well, first of all, before I answer that, what do you think? Should we go back, put our bid in, and get the convention back to Hawaii?
Heck yeah.
Yeah? Okay. So actually, the Rotary Board did unanimously approve that Hawaii can put in a bid on a non-compete basis. The earliest we can do it is 2027. So we can choose 27, 28, 29. 2030, I believe, is going to be in Chicago, so that's already taken. So we're working to put the bid together to get that in a couple of months. We do have to update the old one because there's a lot of changes, but we are looking at putting the bid in again to bring the convention back to Hawaii. So Dell is going to be speaking on August 1st at our general meeting at 10 o'clock about the plans. So it's going to be a lot simpler, Ted's on the committee to look into the bid. We're not responsible for a lot of the work. Ron did a lot of work on the House of Friendship, but we don't need to take care of the House of Friendship this time. So it's a lot less that we're responsible for. It's a lot easier for us as a district to handle that. So, okay, we're looking into it. Thanks, Greg.
Hey, Rick, Mike Curtis.
Yeah, go for it.
A couple weeks ago, we had that session called Kauai Kids in Crisis. The emotional, financial, and school pressures that are putting on Kauai families are causing a lot of stress. So the idea was putting together providers and suppliers together to maybe help some of these kids that are stressed. So we had a lot of ideas, but the next step is communication. And I had thought that maybe an online clearinghouse, similar to our silent auction, is putting together providers and suppliers with, help with child and family service, YWCA, and stuff like that. So I've started to put together a program with data sets that include the provider information, the beneficiary information, and the suppliers and the projects, like Kids Christmas, or I keep using Kids Christmas and Rotary Reader as examples of projects the Rotarians with ideas can put one and one together and get two. Like some of the Keiki-Do Career is that organization that helps take care of people from kids till like they're 25. When somebody graduates from high school, they're not really competent and they need some more training. We can put one and one together and make two. And towards that end, putting together an online clearinghouse so that people can put up needs like Kaloa School. Kaloa School, they were at Melissa McFerrin with that backpack thing. Talked to her and she said, you know, we might not have enough money to give $100 to each of the PCNCs at each of the elementary schools. That's like $1,300. I said, you know, maybe the Rotary Club could sponsor the 3 elementary schools in our area and offer $100 to each of the PCNCs. But the key to all this problem solving is communication. And perhaps an online program may facilitate that, and working on that. And I'll share with you the progress if you think it's a good idea. But communication is always a good idea, and that's the first step in solving problems, is communicating, defining the problem, and then finding the solutions, putting them together. Communication is the key to that. And I think there's an online program that we could develop that'll help that. I'll share that progress with you as it goes.
Thanks, Mike. That sounds great. And I think that is the key. We came up with some good ideas. Now the next step is we got to start taking action so we can get going on it. Rodney.
So on the pavilion painting, it's going to take 2 days. Looking more for Craig to kind of nod his head. And 1 day is to pressure wash, and another day to do the painting. Might take 2 days to do the painting, so we might consider Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I'll try to put out an email, get some feedback. So keep in mind these weekends, August 22nd, 23, weekend of the 22nd and the 23rd, and weekend of the 28th and the 29th. I'm pretty sure they're wide open because I don't think they're renting it out, the Kukiolono. Also, I just want to point out that, Kukiolono is most people know it as Kukiolono Golf Course, but it's actually Kukiolono Park and Golf Course. So it's really emphasis on the park as far as the donation by McBride was concerned. And Naomi mentioned the tree planting. I think it would be kind of a cool project there, although they've got a lot of trees there already. I think to maybe plant trees up there. And I haven't asked Jan yet, but I think she'll agree. But I want to donate a tree on behalf of my memory of my parents. So that's it.
Thank you. That's a great idea. And with regards to the tree planting, Naomi mentioned this. John Harder, who is with the Hanalei Club, is looking to organize a tree planting here on Kauai at the Cave Reserve in Poipu. And I think that would be another nice one for us to participate in because, it is literally in our backyard. He's looking at doing that in October. So we would be a little different time-wise, but the thought is very much the same. But I also think looking at doing something at Kukui'olono like that would be also a very nice thing. Potentially even a bit of almost like a memorial garden where we could ask people to donate trees in memory of people. I think that would be a nice little way of getting that to happen. You've seen places where they laid a brick sidewalk and people purchased bricks in memory of people and such. Something along those lines would be really kind of cool. I also know one of the other things that I've noticed when I've been at the park is the gate that they have, the red gate. Could use another coat of red on it in the not too distant future. That would be nice. And if I'm not mistaken, the iron deer is missing an antler. Is he fixed? Oh, he's fixed. Okay, good.
He got fixed.
That always bummed me out that someone even did that because I was like, that's such a it's a mark of that park. So let it be happy and good. Okay, well, it is 8:30. We are at the end of our time here. So thank you again, Naomi. We're very glad that you've had a chance to join us. By the way, for everyone who is here, there is a board meeting today at noon. You're all welcome to join in. If you send me an email, I can get you the connection information. Naomi will be joining us for the board meeting as well. But thank you. And Naomi, we will talk to you again soon. And everyone else, we will talk to you again soon as well. Thanks so much.
Aloha.
Aloha.
Hi, Milani.
Milani.
Yeah, Milani's here.
been a while. Nice to see everyone.
Glad to see you here.
Okay, see you at 12.
Okay, thanks. Bye-bye.